Hello friends, today I am going to talk about National Action Plan on Climate Change of India. So it is prepared and it's step by step implemented by Government of India. Its main focus is on promoting and understanding the climate change and mitigation of it, establishing linkages between adaptation and mitigation is an important aspect nowadays that we have to follow. It comprises 8 national missions that represent multi-pronged, long-term and integrated strategies for achieving the key goals. These missions, they very much focus on specific areas of solar energy, enhanced energy efficiency, sustainable habitat, water, sustaining Himalayan ecosystems, green India, sustainable agricultural and strategies of it. And knowledge platforms for climate change, which is also supported and practices implemented by various ministries. As part of overview why this plan is there, I will tell you that India, we are facing numerous challenges. Especially we have to grow economically and we have to deal with the global threat of climate change. So this threat emanates from the emissions of greenhouse gases. Huge amount of gases are going out into the atmosphere. So long term and intensive industrial growth or changed consumption patterns, lifestyles have caused emissions in developed countries also. So while engaged with the international community, we have to make collective efforts and cooperate with each other in order to deal this global threat. India needs a national strategy. So firstly, to adopt climate change. Adaptation is very important. And secondly, we have as a society to further enhance ecological sustainability of our country's future developmental path. So climate change may alter the distribution and quality of India's natural resources and adversely affect the livelihood of the population. So with an economy closely tied to its natural resource base and climate sensitive sectors, so these are agriculture, water, forestry, so we as a country may face major threats because of future projected changes in climatic systems. India's development path is based on its resources that we have, and we have to grow ahead economic basis as well as along with social upliftment of the people. We have to eradicate the poverty, and our society has to set some standard practices. We place high value on environment and maintenance of ecological balance. It is time to show it to the whole world. In charting out developmental pathway which is ecologically sustainable, we have to select our choices of future development, and this is the time we have to go ahead, change our path of development. Our vision is to create a prosperous, but not wasteful society. Economy has to grow ahead, self-sustaining, and this economy will support the people, will live in balance with nature. Wise decisions we will take. Responsible citizens will be there to participate in government decisions. So recognizing that climate change is a global challenge, India will engage actively in multilateral negotiations. This is history of our country. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It is a positive, constructive and forward-looking way. So our objective will be in future to establish effective, cooperative and equitable global approach, going in connection with and supporting with all principle of common but differentiated responsibility and respective capabilities. So as also decided, as also agreed in United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and later United Nations agreements, even in Kyoto Protocol and Paris Agreement. So such an approach must be based on global vision, which is inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's wise dictum: the earth has enough resources to meet people's need, but will never have enough to satisfy the people's greed. Thus, we must not only promote the sustainable production processes, but we have to change our lifestyle, and it should be sustainable lifestyle, and whole globe should follow the sustainable practices. So finally, our approach must be compatible with our role as a responsible member of the international community. We should be ready to make our contribution in solution that whole world number of issues that this world is facing, global issues especially, which impact on humanity as a whole. And the success of our national efforts would be significantly enhanced if we come together, if we make collective efforts. The developed countries affirm their responsibility for accumulated greenhouse gas emissions and fulfill their commitments as part of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So especially developed countries have to transfer new additional financial resources, technology which are eco-friendly, and they have to support adaptation and mitigation in poor and developing countries. So India, we are convinced that principle of equity must underlie the global approach. Each inhabitant of this earth should get the equal entitlement for the global atmospheric resource. So in this connection, this policy says, action plan says that India is determined that its per capita greenhouse emissions will at no point exceed that of developed countries, even we pursue our future developmental objectives. What are the principles to adapt these National Action Plan on Climate Change? Maintaining high growth rate is essential for increasing living standards of the people and vast majority of the communities, and reduce their vulnerabilities to the impacts of climate change. So in order to achieve the sustainable development and simultaneously progress in economic as well as environmental objectives, the National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAPCC, it is guided by some principles that I will tell you now. protecting the poor and vulnerable sections of the society through an inclusive and sustainable development strategy, which is okay, and these people are sensitive to climate change. Another principle is to achieve national growth objectives through qualitative change in a proper direction that enhances ecological sustainability and leads to further mitigation of greenhouse gas emissions. Another principle, devising efficient and cost-effective strategies for end-use demand-side management. So cost-effective and such strategies, change strategies are very necessary, eco-friendly strategies. Deploying appropriate technologies for adaptation and mitigation of greenhouse gas emissions, and we have to do it on larger scale and with accelerated pace. Another principle is the engineering new and innovative forms of market, regulatory and voluntary mechanisms to promote sustainable development. In addition, effecting the implementation of programs through unique linkages, so which will include the civil society, local government institutions and public-private partnerships. So without support of people, communities, government cannot implement its projects, programs successfully. This is very clear throughout the world. Another principle is welcoming international cooperation for research, development and sharing and transfer of technologies. So which will cause additional fund and global intellectual property rights regime, so that will facilitate technology transfer, especially to the poor and developing countries under the heading of United Nations Framework Convention. So what will be the approach to implement this action plan? The NAPCC, it addresses the urgent and critical concerns of the country, what we are facing, through a directional shift in developmental pathways. We have to enhance the current and planned programs, so especially which are mentioned in this action plan in detail. The National Action Plan on Climate identifies measures that promote our developmental objectives, yielding co-benefits for addressing climate change effectively. So development and mitigation measures, they goes ahead. So it outlines a number of steps that we have to take to advance India's developments and climate change related objectives of adaptation and mitigation. These are very important words, adapt and mitigate. As part of 8 national missions that are mentioned in action plan, we have to deal with challenges of climate change. We must act on several fronts in a focused manner at the same time, simultaneously. The National Action Plan, it is supported, it is based on the development and use of new technologies. The implementation of the plan would, through appropriate institutional mechanisms suited for effective delivery of each individual. So missions objectives include public-private partnerships and civil society action also. The focus as part of approach will be on promoting understanding of climate change adaptation and mitigation. So and also the conservation of natural resources. So there are 8 most important national missions which form the core of NAPCC, representing multi-pronged, long-term and integrated strategies for achieving the key goals in context of climate change. So several of these programs have already been started. They are part of current actions that Indian government is taking. So they may need a change in direction, enhancement in scope, objectives, effective implementation, accelerated implementation, and all these things in time-bound frame. So first mission is National Solar Mission. A national solar mission will be launched for significant increase the share of solar energy in the total energy mix what we use, while recognizing the need and expand the scope of other renewable and non-fossil options such as nuclear energy, wind energy and biomass energy. So India is a tropical country. We have enough sunlight available here for longer hours during a day and even during more parts of the year, and we can utilize it properly. So solar energy therefore has a great potential as a future energy source in our country. So it also has the advantage of permitting a decentralized distribution of energy, so which will empower the people at grassroots level. So photovoltaic cells are becoming cheaper nowadays with newer and newer technological advancements and research. So there are again newer reflector based technologies that could enable setting up of megawatt scale or solar power plants across the country. So another aspect of the solar mission would be to launch research and developmental program. So it could draw upon international cooperation. So other countries can support us, and as well to enable the creation of more affordable, cheap, convenient solar power systems. And it's also necessary to promote the innovations that enable the storage of solar power for sustained long-term use of such energy. Second mission is National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. There is Energy Conservation Act of 2001, and it provides a legal mandate for implementation of energy efficiency measures through the institutional mechanism, so of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, so which is working under central government, and designated agencies in different states are also there. So the demand for increased energy efficiency. A number of schemes and programs have already been initiated in our country, and it is expected that these would result in saving 10,000 megawatts of electricity by 2012. That was the old figure, but again and to enhance the energy efficiency, for new initiatives will be put in place. So these are based market based mechanism to enhance cost effectiveness, of improvements in energy efficiency in energy intensive large industries and facilities through certification of energy saving that could be traded. So again, accelerating shift to energy efficient appliances in designated sectors, so through innovative measures and to make the products more affordable. So star rating system, we are all aware about it, the appliances which consume less energy. So creation of mechanisms that would help finance and demand side management programs in all sectors, so by capturing future energy savings is also part of this mission. We have to develop fiscal instruments to promote energy efficiency, official instruments. So third mission is National Mission on Sustainable Habitat. A national mission on sustainable habitat is already launched to make habitat sustainable through improved energy efficiency in buildings, management of solid wastes, and shift in public transport ways. This mission is to promote energy efficiency as an integral component of urban planning processes as well as urban renewable programs. So through three main initiatives, and these are: number one initiative, the Energy Conservation Building Code. So this addresses the design of new and large commercial buildings to optimize their energy demand, and this is extended in its application, and incentives that are provided to the existing building stocks. Second initiative is recycling of material and urban waste management. So, and that will be a major component of ecologically sustainable economic development. So India already has significant higher rate of recycling of the wastes as compared to other countries, and here special area of development is the use of technology to produce power from the wastes that are generated, and number of cities are following such practices in our society, in our country. The national mission also include major research and developmental program, so that focus on biochemical conversion of wastes, wastewater use, sewage utilization, and maximum recycling options wherever possible. Third point is the better urban planning and model shift in public transport. We have to make long-term transport plans to facilitate the growth in medium and small cities, so that will ensure the efficient and convenient public transport. As part of energy initiatives, these three we are there. So in addition, this mission related with energy also addresses our adaptation to future climate change by resilience of infrastructure, community-based disaster management, and measures that will improve the alert warning system for extreme weather events. So capacity building would be an important component as part of this mission. Mission number 4, National Water Mission. A national water mission will be mounted so to ensure the integrated resource management. so which will help to conserve water. It will minimize the waste generation, effluent and sewage generation, and ensure more equitable distribution of the water resources. This mission will take account of provisions of national water policy that have already been designed and develop framework to optimize the water use by increasing efficiency in it. So at least 20% through regulatory mechanism with different entitlements and the pricing ways. So it will seek to ensure that considerable share of water needs of urban areas, so these are met through recycling of wastewater, and to ensure that the water requirements of coastal cities with inadequate alternative sources of water are made through new and appropriate technologies. So for example, low temperature desalination technologies, so that can be set up to use ocean water, and this is part of this action plan. So national water policy, it would be revised, renewed, so in consultation with the states, and necessary to ensure the basin level management, and to include the strategies that will deal with variability in rainfall and river flows, climate change, and increasing urban sprawl. So we'll include the enhanced storage of both above and ground rainwater harvesting, which will combine with the equitable and efficient management structures. It is the need. This mission also seeks to develop new laws, regulatory structures for appropriate entitlements again, and the pricing related with water use. It will seek to optimize the efficiency of existing irrigation systems, so which will include the rehabilitation of the systems so that have been run down, and expand the irrigation wherever feasible with special efforts to increase the storage capacity. So incentive structures will be designed to promote water neutral or water positive technologies, recharging of groundwater sources, and adoption of large-scale irrigation programs that rely on sprinkle, drip irrigation, and ridge and furrow irrigation practices. So use of traditional technologies in line with advanced are very important. Number 5 mission is National Mission for Sustaining the Himalayan Ecosystem. A mission for sustaining the Himalayan ecosystem is launched to evolve management measures for sustainable ways that safeguard the Himalayan glaciers and mountain ecosystems. So Himalayas being source of key perennial rivers, so this mission seek to understand whether to a certain extent the Himalayan glaciers are in recession and how the problem could be addressed. We have to minimize the impacts that are caused at present. So this will regulate, this will require the joint effort of climatologists, glaciologists, and other experts. So we will need to exchange the information with South Asian countries, nearby countries of Himalaya, and the countries that can share their knowledge and techniques with us. Observational and monitoring network for the Himalayan environment will be established to assess freshwater resources and health of the ecosystems. Already certain programs are going on. in such areas. So cooperation with neighboring countries, it is very necessary to develop the comprehensive network in order to check the problems and time-bound frame to solve these issues. The Himalayan ecosystem has more than 51 million people who practice hill agriculture, and they are more vulnerable with the increased threats of climate change. The community-based management of these ecosystems will be promoted, and certain incentives will be provided by the government, central and state, to these such community organizations. So especially panchayats for protection and enhancement of the forest lands. So in mountainous region, the aim will be to maintain 2/3 of the area under forest cover, and in order to prevent the soil erosion it is necessary, and also to protect our lands, to prevent the land degradation and ensure the stability of the fragile ecosystem, to maintain the delicate balance of the nature there. So mission number 6 is National Mission for Green India. A national mission will be launched to enhanced ecosystem services, so including the carbon sinks, to be called Green India. So we all know forests play an important role in absorption of the carbon emissions, preservation of ecological balance, and overall maintaining the biodiversity. They constitute the major aspect for effective pollutant sinks. So central government has already announced Green India campaign for afforestation of more than 6 million hectares of land. So national target of area under forest tree cover is 33%, while current area under forest is around 23%. We have to increase it. This mission on Green India is taken especially on degraded barren lands, so through direct action by people involvement, public involvement, communities, their organizations, and through joint forest management programs, communities, and which are guided by forest departments and other related agencies. The government, central government, has made provision of around 6,000 crore rupees for this program, Green India Mission, and compensatory afforestation management and planning authority has to work, monitor, and has already started the work related to Green India Mission. The program will be scaled to cover maximum areas of our country. Institutional arrangement is very necessary, and it provides the use of corpus funds to scale up the activity to complete the objectives that are decided under it. Mission number 7 is National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. We are agriculture country, and it is to devise strategies to make Indian agriculture more resilient, adaptable to the climate change. So this mission would identify and develop new varieties of crops that are resistant to temperature, and alternative cropping patterns will be followed that will withstand extreme weather conditions. drought conditions, flood conditions, dry spells, and can withstand under variable moisture availability into the atmosphere. Agriculture need to be progressively adapted. So for the climate change impacts, and our research systems related to agriculture must orient to monitor and evaluate climate change. And we have to follow these sustainable practices in it. So this will also be supported by integration of traditional knowledge and practices that we have in different parts, different regions of our country. So use of geospatial technologies, and also with use of biotechnological aspects, so future plans will be carried out. Again, new credit and insurance mechanism will also be devised for the farmers in our country. Adaptation of desired practices, changed practices that are beneficial for farmers, our economy. Focus will be on to improve the productivity of rain-fed agriculture. So India will spearhead the efforts at international level to work towards ecologically sustainable green revolution that we want. And the last, mission number 8, National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change knowledge. So to enlist the global community in research and technology development and collaboration. So mechanism including open source platforms, strategic knowledge mission is set up. So especially to identify the challenges and responses to the climate change. It is the need of the hour. So this will ensure the funding of high quality and focused research in our society. This will also have a very specific research agenda. Socio-economic impacts of climate change, including impact on health, demography, and migration patterns in relation with overall the condition of the people, livelihood of coastal communities, all will be considered. So this mission will also support for establishment of dedicated climate change related scientific units in different universities of our country. Research will be promoted through network, and working together, working with network is an important aspect of these missions, of this plan. A climate science research fund would be created under this mission to support research in various agencies. So involvement of private sectors, their initiatives, development of technology for adaptation and mitigation through venture capital funds, so that will also be promoted. So research is given more focus here as part of this mission, and to support the policy and implementation would be undertaken through identified centers. So research, mainly research. This mission will also focus on dissemination, spread of new technology based on whatever research findings that are carried out by various agencies. Already there are a lot of things that are going on in our country. Number of programs are being implemented by different institutes and different central and state government agencies. The more important thing, what is required, is the support of people, is the change in mindset of people, in order to achieve the things, the plans, the missions that are mentioned as part of National Action Plan on Climate Change. That's the end. Thank you very much for being here.